We are going to dive into this marketing strategy mind map. You already have the template downloaded. This is just a video to walk you through it. Just quick housekeeping before we do anything, make sure that you copy the document. It is going to be locked so that no one can make any accidental changes to the master copy or my copy. So you can go ahead and copy mine exactly the way that it is in Canva, or you can grab a piece of paper and a pen if you like a different type of tech. Totally up to you, but the idea is going to be the same. Okay, this video is going to give you a quick little walkthrough. This is the ideal exercise for organizing or reorganizing your marketing ideas. Okay, you're not new to this, you're true to this. I'm not here to teach you anything new. I'm your idea friend. I'm the person that's going to help you take your big ideas and turn them into digestible, actionable steps. Okay, so you've been marketing, you've been making sales, but they might feel a little bit sporadic, or maybe you've been trying a lot of new things and you've kind of gotten away from the organization of it all. This is going to bring you back. This is going to reel you in so that you can laser focus on strategic marketing. And we want to make sure that your marketing is diversified, comprehensive, and cohesive. Okay, making sure that you're getting onto different avenues, different platforms, not relying solely on social media, because social media is not a marketing plan. It is part of a marketing plan. But understanding the client journey is going to be really, really helpful. And that's not something we dive into in this particular mind map, but this is something I do with my clients is we look at what are the offers. Okay, so what's your offer suite look like? Then what's the client journey? Right? And the front end marketing. From the time someone becomes aware of your brand to the time they get nurtured, they become a lead, they close as a sale, and then customer service and retention. What does that entire client journey look like? And then we dive into this front end marketing, because you can't have a client journey, you can't have marketing, you can't have sales without people finding you. Okay. Marketing is the simple act of making your brand visible to the ideal audience. That's what we're going to organize. Okay. If we have not worked together yet, what's up? I'm Sarah Gummel. I actually started out as an addictions counselor. From addictions counseling, I got into fitness. That's where I discovered entrepreneurship. It's where I discovered online entrepreneurship. I was able to grow a global fitness platform in the pandemic after a spinal fusion, and my main lead generator was networking. And I started to really look at the strategies of networking, because networking can be super time consuming and it can feel like a huge waste of time. It can also be like a huge thing of feast or famine, right? Where you're either booked and busy, or you're like, where the hell is my next client? What is going on? So I really started to look at strategies, and that has grown bigger into we have to have an understanding of offers, client journey, and marketing strategies in order to understand how networking can support those things. So all of them tie together. In order to have a really solid referral system coming from all your networking meetings, we have to understand what you're offering, how you're marketing it, and what is the journey once people come in, right? That's going to help you go into networking meetings and say, hey, here's exactly what I do. Here's exactly what I'm focused on promoting. And here's exactly how you can support me. When you can be really, really clear in those things, you're going to start seeing a lot more referrals coming in. Okay. So we're going to dive into this mind map. Like I said, you can copy and paste exactly what I have, or you can grab a pen and paper. Okay. All of my ADHD friends, stick with me. I promise this video is not going to be long. And we're going to just dive into this together. Grab some colored markers, colored pens, whatever it is. I want you to have on one side your awareness marketing and one side your nurture marketing. In marketing, we want to make sure that we are getting in front of new audiences, but also making sure that we're nurturing existing audiences. And different avenues of marketing are going to fall under one of those two categories. You might have one that falls into both. Okay. Chances are, if it's getting in front of new audiences, it's also nurturing existing audiences, but the main focus is cold audiences, right? So for example, TikTok is really pushing out as an awareness platform at the time of this recording, right? But Instagram has moved into being a nurture platform, right? They're not really pushing you out to as many people that don't already follow you. So you have ways to get in front of new people, ways to nurture your existing people. Now, keep in mind, okay, this is just an example. So you can have 2 of these red circles under each of the categories. You can have 3. I would not do any more. 6 platforms is a lot. Okay, 6 platforms is a lot. So you can have 1, 2, 3 under each. Maybe you have 3 under one and 2 under the other, but we do want to make sure that they are relatively even so that you have a diverse way of getting in front of people. Okay. Now, like I said, it's an example. So TikTok collabs and Google SEO might not be where you're getting in front of new people, but here's some ideas for you on the side in the green post-it notes of what could go there. It's not an all exclusive list. There might be some stuff that's not on there, so feel free to add as you see fit. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to market your business. And the other thing I want to add a note here is it should not be all social media. Okay, we want to make sure that we are adding in non-social media ways to nurture and find new people. The thing about social media is like we get one platform, and when we're talking about like, oh, how can I get in front of new people? As online entrepreneurs specifically, we tend to get into this like, well, what other social media platform can I add in, right? On the other side of that, if you're watching this and you're like a brick and mortar local business or more traditional business, you're probably thinking more like print marketing and traditional marketing, and you're forgetting about social media. Don't forget about social media, okay? So the where is going to be what goes in this red here. Where are you marketing your business? That goes in the red circles. Then in the yellow circles, it is the what or the how. So how are we using that platform? What features are we using? What is the goal on that particular platform or that particular avenue of marketing? Okay. Now, one thing that's not here that I highly recommend doing is changing the color of these circles. So say yellow is going to be the marketing that you have a really good grip on. You feel really, really good about your email sequences, they're going to stay yellow. Okay. But if you look and you're like, okay, my Facebook group has kind of died off a little bit. It's there, but it's not like running really efficiently. It needs to be ramped up. That's going to be another color. Change the color from yellow to something else. And then the ones that are like, this doesn't exist at all, but I want to add it in moving forward, make that a third color. Okay. So you have 3 categories of these ones here, and you can change this if you want. I would keep these red and just change these. So you have one color for the ones that are really, really solid, the ones that are kind of solid, but have a little bit of work to do, and the ones that where you're like, I have no existence there, but we're going to create one. This is going to help you really figure out what you have going on. Okay. So I want you to dive into there. Once you really hash this out, it looks like it is really simple. It looks simple, but I want you to take time to really think through it. Okay. Look at your data. Where are people actually coming from? Which content is actually converting? Right? How's your podcast doing? Are people opening your emails? Are they finding you through Google? What is really, really working? And then just kind of work your way through that. Okay. Now, these purple post-it notes here, these are going to be the content needed and the tech and assets needed. So I want you to start with content needed. Every single one of these avenues requires content. Okay. Content is marketing and marketing is content, but not in the sense of like social media content. Okay. I want you to think about audio content, visual content, written content. It doesn't matter what it is. But every single way that you market your business is going to require content. Your website, your podcast, your emails, your text lists, your freebie offers, when you guest speak for someone else's community, when you go to a networking event, when you do print marketing, when you do whatever it is that's going to require some type of content. So you're going to just brain dump what content is needed here. Okay. This is going to give you a really, really clear list of what to create. Then we want to look at tech and assets needed. So you're going to go through your client journey. Like I said, that's a separate mind map. But you can look at like, okay, do I need to get a podcast recording platform? Do I need to get a social media scheduler? Do I want to get a copywriter? Do you want, or do you need to make a landing page that goes with Google SEO? Okay. You need to have a Google business profile to use Google SEO. Maybe you don't have a TikTok account yet. So it's like, oh, I need to create a TikTok account, right? What tech and assets do you need for each one of these things? Once you've done all of this, I want you to focus on the ones that you have a really, really solid grip on. How can you automate it? How can you continue to nurture those platforms? Do not neglect those platforms in the name of new platforms, okay? Unless that platform's not working for you. If you are putting all this time and energy into an email list, but your open rate is trash, you're not getting sales from it, how can you adjust that so that you can then convert more people using your email list? Okay, but I want you to look at where do you have a really, really solid existence? Figure out how you can improve it, automate it, continue to nurture it while you add in these other platforms. Then you go down to the ones where you're like, okay, I have an existence here, but it's not really super strategic. It's not really, really like high producing. Go there and figure out how can you improve your existence there? How can you really ramp up your brand visibility and the content? And how can you just utilize that platform better? And then last priority is figuring out the brand new platforms that you're not yet using. Okay. Now, the only exception to that rule is if all of your existing platforms are only social media and you're like, but Sarah, I really want to add an email or text or a podcast or a Pinterest or a LinkedIn or whatever, something that's not social media. Push that to the top because I don't want you to rely solely on social media for your marketing. Okay. So this is going to give you a really, really good place to start with your marketing, figuring out where do I want to focus, figuring out what do you want to add in, how can you automate, how can you improve, how can you streamline. This is going to be the foundation of answering all of those questions. And then what we can do is you can apply to work with me one-on-one. I offer a 4-week strategy and execution sprint. Okay, we work together for 4 weeks in strategizing and executing on this marketing strategy, right? So how can we take this marketing strategy and continue to run with the idea? But what I've noticed is that a bunch of strategy calls mean absolutely nothing without execution. So in between every strategy call is an execution call. Now this 4 weeks is a little intensive, but it's a quick turnaround time. Okay. It's like, let's partner together. Let's strategize. It's called done with you execution. So you and I sit down together and we actually implement on the ideas that we had on the strategy call before we move on. Okay, so it's a really cool way for us to partner together for 4 weeks in this strategy and execution intensive. You can apply to work with me. I will drop all the information on this graphic. So it's really easy to find. It'll just be a button. It's not here right now, but it will be by the time you download it. And then also the page where you got access to this template will have it. So you can apply to work with me, or if you're someone who's like, Sarah, I don't need to work with you one-on-one. I don't need anything super intensive right now. You can come to any of my group workshops. I host a different workshop every month, talking and focusing on lead generation and referral generation and marketing. And that's a really great way to come into a group setting with a laser focused topic. And we are going to do a little bit of networking in our workshops, but it's a really great way to kind of dip your toes in working with me if you're not ready for something that is the 4-week intensive. Okay, so I will drop you all that information on how we can continue working together once you've worked through this, or if you're looking at this, let's just be honest, okay? If you're looking at this and you're like, Sarah, I know I'm not going to do this on my own, or this is really overwhelming and like, let's just dive into this. You don't have to have this done for us to work together, okay? If you want to book your 4-week intensive, we can start with this and then run from there. If you're like, Sarah, I just need to verbally work through this stuff. I'm ADHD. I'm not going to do it on my own. I'm someone who just downloads and doesn't use it because, girl, same. Okay. I do that all the time. I'm someone who needs to verbally work through things. I'm someone who needs to like, let's just get on this call. Let's body double, like give me some accountability. I'm going to do it on this call because once we're off this call, I'm going to forget it exists. That's why I created the 4-week intensive to be calls for strategy and execution so you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm so excited that you downloaded this mind map, and I'm so excited to hear your feedback. I'm excited to see your application for working with me one-on-one so that you and I can really dive into this together. Or like I said, if you're not looking for that intensive option, check out my group workshop schedule. The workshops are so good, and some of them are even collaborative with some of my referral partners. So check out that calendar, kind of noodle on what's the best fit for you, because my only goal for you is for you to take action. Okay, I just want you to have an actionable plan. I want you to feel really, really good in taking all of your ideas and like, this is exactly how you're moving forward. All right. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to check out all the resources I have for you in this template, and I will make sure I add it to the page where you got this template too. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.